Today, I'm talking to Danielle Wallace. Excited to chat with you about your journey with mantra leadership and community building and all the amazing things that you've done since you've come on board. I will start with how you came to mantra. Like, what brought you to mantra?
I think the first time, and I've had a couple of clients ask me, they're like, "What was your first experience?" And it's been so long, but I came in on a Groupon with one of my friends. They were like, "You need to try this class." And I was like, "Okay." I've always had a very active background. So I was like, this will be easy. This will be fine. And I did class and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so, I couldn't even walk for days. I was like, what just happened? And I think from there, knowing that like I wasn't just going to pick up on it right away, like it was going to challenge me, I'm like, I have to keep doing it. And then I remember coming in like every now and then I think you called and you were like, "Do you want to be an instructor?" And I was like, okay, because I've never done this before. So we went to California, got certified, and then it's been like that since.
So that's been, let's see, how many years ago was that? So you've been with mantra a long time.
It has to be like 9 years.
9 years. Where does
know.
the freaking time go?
I know.
And what do you remember? So your very first, so 9 years ago, you would have been in the original Sarasota location. You've been there from the beginning, which is amazing. And you came in and you took your first class. And then what did you think? Like, how did you feel after that first class?
It was just something that I knew. I was like, this is going to be a workout that I'm going to always continue doing. It just challenges you. It challenges like your mind. It challenges your body. You're not running. You're not doing those high impact like workouts, which I'm so used to doing that or was, but it just like mentally you have to focus. And I think being like, I was a little bit younger when I started, you don't understand that 100%. So I kind of love my journey, and really now taking class versus when I first started, it's so much harder now, so much more intense. And I always have clients, they're like, "Is this going to get easier?" And I'm like, no. When you mentally like, connect with like the workout in your body, it's such a game changer. And you're like, this is going to kill me every time in the best way possible.
So that first experience with mantra, and then, you had this amazing workout. How did you feel after your first class? And then when did you start really seeing results?
I felt good. Like I felt like I worked hard. And then you always want, when you work out, you don't want to just wake up or like leave a class and be like, I don't feel like I got anything out of this. So I feel like every time you take class, you're always going to leave like, that was intense. That was hard, but like a good hard. I felt like I started noticing results probably after a month. When you consistently do it, you notice like the changes in your body. But it's also not just working out. Like you have to have a good diet. You have to have a good like healthy wellness plan.
Just that whole body wellness,
Yeah.
like everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
What about the vibe of the studio? What did you think about that when you came in for the first time?
I was intimidated, not in like a bad way, but I think it's when you go anywhere, when you first start like a new workout, you're just like, okay, this is intimidating. And what are these machines? So once you get through that, it's like the community is so amazing. Like it drew me back. Just the community, like the trainers, everyone is just so encouraging, so friendly. Over like the time that I've been here, I've made so many like fun connections and friends. So it's good. I love it. And I always recommend, I'm like, come take class. It's not just a workout. Like you get a community with it.
I feel like I get so much satisfaction from seeing the community side. I've always been a connector, so I enjoy bringing groups of people together.
Yeah.
And then watching that with mantra, how the community comes together and like all of a sudden you can walk in and or feel like you're alone, but then, within a short amount of time, you've got these community of people that are very like, I don't know, I feel like we're just aligned in what we how we take care of ourselves and our health and wellness. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I have all these friends. Like, where did they, how did I get so many friends?
But what do I do with all these friends?
What do I do with all these friends? But like I love like the fact, I love that you love the community aspect of Mantra when you came to the studio for the first time, because that was really important to me when I started the brand, that I create something where people really felt warm and nurtured. Like I love the energy of the workout. I love the workout. As you know, I think it's hands down the best workout you could ever even do for not only your body, but for your mind. But just like the idea of having a really strong community of women and men. There are men, and there actually is a couple that met at Mantra, that probably several actually. But yeah, just having that really strong community around. It's nice to hear you say that, because that speaks to like,
it's important. I think it's really important, especially where you don't want to feel like when you walk into a workout or like a studio that you're just another person. Like, I think you want to look forward to like going in. You're like, oh, I'm ready for this workout. I'm so happy. I can't wait. I just signed up for class the next day and the next day. So it's nice, like enjoying and looking forward to something versus kind of just like, oh, I want to get this over with, and I can go about my day.
Yeah. But, yeah, just like being able to show up and feel good about your workout and want to be there. Yeah. So you came in, so you were a client at first, and you like loved the workout, and you kind of like sense that you had this kind of sense of community. And then like this, you like just like vibed with like what was like how it made your body feel and the results that you were seeing from Mantra. And then at what point did you think about becoming a trainer? Because you've been with us 9 years, so there's a long journey there, and I'm excited to kind of tell your story too, because it's been truly a journey of like growing and becoming an entrepreneur yourself, through just the catalyst, starting with like Mantra and being a trainer. So it's exciting to see.
I remember, like you called me and I was like, oh my gosh, the owner's calling me. What do I do? Am I going to get kicked out? you were like, do you want to be an instructor? And I have never been a fan of public speaking. I was like, there's no way I'm getting on this mic. And you're like, just do it. You'll be fine. And I'm like, and I was like, okay, if you think so. And so it was terrifying, but I think it was like something I needed. And that was just one little step of pushing past like a comfort zone. And I think you get so caught up in life sometimes where you're like, oh, that's intimidating. That makes me nervous. I'm just going to stay away from it. So like doing this, I just built my confidence and learned to go on the mic. And now it's easy. You just go on like it's nothing. Yeah, you just do it. And then I always tell the girls, like our new trainers, and I'm like, you just do it. You get comfortable. You learn to like love your voice on the mic most days, but
most days. I feel that's so important. Just we all have these superpowers that we don't even know we have. Like I'm still getting woken up to things that I had no idea was that were in me. I'm like, wow, I can actually do this. Like, how did I do that? Like, and so I see that in other people, and it's like, so I'm like, no, you can do anything. You can teach a class. Like, why not? Like, you'll love it. So it's so funny though that you remember that. Like, I don't remember calling you, but I'm sure that I do. I'm sure that I did.
Like, I was driving and I'm like, oh no, what do I do? Do I say no? And I was like, I'm just going to say yes. So I was like, it's an opportunity, and I'm like, might as well take it. And I'm so glad I did, because it opened so many new doors and friendships, and then just kind of like a door opening for like a chapter of my life that I got to go through. And yeah.
So tell me about when you said yes, and then it opened up a new door.
Yeah. So like I've been learning, and I've, especially like over the past couple years, just saying yes to certain things, because you can't let life or these things you're nervous about hold you back. And I'm like, a lot of people, it takes a long time to realize like you can do a lot. And that's when I took the little break from the studio, I think that was a big part of me needed to like find myself. And I think there was a point where I lost myself a little bit. And I was like, I don't know who I am, because I have my kids, and I think as a mother,
had a lot of life transitions going on.
Yeah. And it was the beginning of COVID. I had a newborn. I had my son that was just turned 6, and I was like, I don't know who I am. And I had not the healthiest relationship that I was in at that moment. And I was like, I just need to find myself. And so I just kind of was like, I'm going to do something that I didn't think I was capable of. So I went back to school. I got my esthetician's license. I got all these certifications, and I was like, I'm going to open my own business. I was like, I want to find a way to help women, and men. I was like, I want to give someone the confidence that they don't think that they have at that moment. And I was like, I want to help it, even if it's the littlest amount. But I was like, I'm doing something. I'm helping them. I'm making them feel better about themselves. So I opened my business. And then I feel like in the midst of that is when I was like, I kind of want to come back to the studio. I miss teaching. I miss helping people. I think I've always been helping people, whether I didn't notice it. And I'm like, I just want to be able to help people again, whether it's one class. But I've had
you're in the right place for that, and you're in the right space. And I love that you had the confidence, and that you went and you were like looking for something really meaningful, and you found yourself, and you were able to start your own skincare and tattoo company. And you've done mine. My first and only was done by you.
I feel honored.
coming in on a whim. And I'm like, Danny, I think I'm going to get a tattoo. And you're like, oh, okay.
I was like, what? I was like, is this allowed?
And I'm like, I look at it like I get to see it every day. But I love that you found this in yourself, and that you were able to come out and offer something, like you have like all this wonderful talent for creativity and helping people. And you're just naturally born to help others and make others feel good about themselves.
I think it's really important in finding a way to just help people, whether it's like not making a world difference, but like you're changing someone's life, or you're allowing someone to just come to you and vent. And they're like, I really needed that. Or you have a client that just took class, and they were like, I've had such a bad week. And they're like, just you talking and your like encouragement just helped me so much today. And it means so much. Like there's some days I'll go home and I'm like very emotional, and I'm like, I just made such a difference. And it's such a good feeling. And I think I look forward to like bringing this into like how I raise my kids too. Like you can do whatever you want. You just have to try. You can't like doubt yourself. Like what's the worst that's going to happen? It doesn't work out, then you tried.
You try again.
Yeah.
That's it. You stand up and you try again. Yeah. And how about your leadership with Mantra? Like how has that helped you with your skincare company?
When I was at the old studio and having the management position and learning all about the sales, like being a leader, it helped so much. Not knowing right away, but I was like, oh, I already have some of these skills. I've developed them over the years. You learn to deal with people that aren't going to be the nicest to you. And there's very few that we've run into, but some people just aren't always the happiest, which is fine. You learn to deal with it. But going from Mantra to the studio or to the salon, coming back to Mantra, I was like, there's just so many new things that I've got to bring to the table. And so it's like it's nice. It's nice seeing the difference. I'm like, this just feels right. It just feels good. I'm happy to come to work. You're excited. When you're excited to go to work, and when it doesn't feel like you're going to work, and I feel like you need to find something that works better for you. But every day, as crazy as my schedule is, I'm so excited to see my clients and the studio, and it's just a good feeling. Yeah. It's nice. It's nice that you you helped create these communities.
Well, you definitely did. And it shows. And tell me about your leadership role involved, if you're comparing it to when you first started in management.
So it was it went from client to training to front desk. and then to management. And so it was kind of just like working my way up little by little. And
I always remember this, like we were in California and we were doing training with Sebastian. And you said to me, you're like, I was like, Danny, what are your goals? I was asking you about your goals. And you're like, oh, I want to work for Mantra full time. And I remember going, oh, really? Okay. And the power of manifestation too. Like,
yeah,
whatever it is you're doing, whether you're opening skincare business, it's like when we put things out in the universe and we just say them and put them out there, it's amazing when you look back, like how these things actually come about and it works. Like
I know. And even if it doesn't happen like right away, like over time, you're like, I remember wanting this. And then you like, things don't happen overnight. And I always tell people, and like, I always tell my kids, I'm like, look how much has changed. I was like, maybe not like from now to last week, but I was like, over time, like so many things change in good ways. You just have to be patient. And it's impossible telling kids to be patient.
so talking about like going back to your leadership role, right, with Mantra, like in that evolving. So you were front desk, then you were manager, and then now, going on 13 years that we've been around, and the brand has really evolved and become even so much more than it ever has been. What is that like now? Like you're running a studio, a very, very busy studio, and you've been building it at the same time and juggling being a mom and juggling your other business. Like, tell me about that kind.
It's a lot, but it's like, I feel like it's a lot in the best way possible. The community from when I started Mantra to now has just grown in like, again, like the best way. It's our goals for the studio, our goals for our clients, the whole like just goal in general in our story. I think it's so different from anyone else's, and the things that we're trying to do for our clients and do for our staff. And it's changed and grown and evolved so much. And I look forward to it, and I'm looking forward to like the future and what we can do and accomplish and growing as far as like our staff, studios, like just our brand in general. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm excited too. And it's been fun for me to watch the community grow.
Yeah.
And then all the different aspects of community too, just each studio being its own community, and there are different personalities that come in. Like Sarasota's got a personality, Tampa's got a personality, and it's just fun to see how they all kind of like blend together. But really it comes down to just a lot of heart and a lot of community.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody on our team gravitates to that. Like, we do it because we love it and we want to give back.
Yeah. And I'm so grateful for like this, like the trainers at Sarasota, like the group and the community that we have. It makes everything just so easy. I'm like, is this real? I was like, is this a real job? I'm like, what is going on? It's like the friendships I've built with them, like everyone just gets along. Everyone throws out ideas. Everyone's like, oh, I think we should do this. And I'm like, you know what? I think that's amazing, because not just a small group can create this whole brand. It's like, you have to ask and you have to get from other people as well. And so just having these little tips, like, just help so much.
I think just being open to hearing new ideas and not being closed off, because you can, in everyday life, if we're not careful, we can become closed off to taking in information that maybe we don't necessarily, it doesn't resonate right away. But sometimes when you sit on things a little bit, it's like, oh, wait, that's a really good idea. And how can we incorporate that? And I think we've done a really good job just kind of like brainstorming and evolving the brand together as a group.
Yeah.
And just being open to everybody's ideas. I really do want to know, what do you think about that? And getting feedback from our team so that we can keep growing. And, especially now, I feel like there's so much competition in the job market, right? People want to belong and be in a community or in a place where they love to go to work. And that's important. And obviously the best workout for our clients.
I think we do a really good job at that. I think like we have such a good space and like atmosphere. It's we have like the whole package now, and we've been working on it for a long time. It's so hard.
And that goes back to what you were saying about like patience, right? For you, patience, it took time to get your brand going, to get your own skincare company going. Let's talk about that a little bit. So you started yours company 4
so
years ago.
A New Aesthetics. I started just because like I've had an art background for I do have an art background, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I was like, I don't want to end up doing something that I hate or just get tired of and then never want to do it again. I've seen that happen to so many of my friends. I want to do something that I can still talk to people and I want to help people. And I'm like, so then when I was still kind of in my little phase of like, what exactly do I want to do? One of my best friends was like, let's do this. And she's like, let's go to school. Let's get our aesthetics license and let's open a business. And I go, okay. I was like, okay.
Yes.
Again, I'm like, never thought in a million years I would do this. And then once we did it, I was like, in my head, I'm like, this is like something I can do with my art background.
That's a permanent mark.
Yeah. And I'm like, how exciting to just change someone's life. Something as simple as brows or lip blushing, because everyone has a story. And I've learned that over the past couple years. And it's like just helping someone get their confidence back has truly been like so rewarding. And what I specialize in is just like single needle work. So it's very dainty. I call it like delicate body art because it's not like a huge like tattoo. It's something that it's like reminds
kind
me
of like what you did on my wrist.
Yes.
Like
and I was like, it kind of reminds me of like permanent jewelry. Like it's a little accessory. And I mean, I always do like bigger pieces as well. But I was like, this is something too. I want to create like a space, an environment where people feel welcome and not intimidated. They can come in with like a couple of their friends, their mom. And it worked out exactly how I wanted it to. And I'm so grateful for all of it.
And tell me about balancing everything. You have 2 young children. You've been on and off a single mom, and you've like worn all these hats, from your entrepreneur, your manager, your mom, your wife, like all of these things all at once. What is your secret?
Time management.
Okay.
Learning time management. So my whole thing, I'm a very visual person. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this for this amount of time during the week. And I would put on my calendar and I'm like, what other time do I have available to do this? And so then I just like mark it as I go. And I'm like, if I don't have my calendar, my life would be gone. So if someone's mad at me, please don't take my calendar.
That's like the worst
Please.
joke.
Oh my gosh. No, I would lose it.
You've been punked. I stole your calendar.
I would just sit in my car in silence. I'm like, what's happening? Where do I have to go? But no, I think it's just developing. You get used to it. You really do. And especially being a mom, I feel like all moms, they're like, you just have to work around. You can't just be a mom after you have kids. Like I always tell people, I'm like, I think you really need to find yourself after, because you don't want to lose yourself. So finding that time, whether it is working, whether it's trying to open a business on the side, whether it's taking time to go to mantra or your self-care, like all of that is super important. And that's when like the time management comes into
just fitting everything in your schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do have a big schedule.
You do have a big schedule.
My husband's like, can we tone it down? And I'm like, never. I have to stay moving.
Question, like lessons you've learned about like leadership and trust along the way over the last 9 years. I would say like, trust and the importance of trust in a business and as a person.
I would say, I think just trusting the process and really like allowing yourself to be open-minded for certain things. Cause you, like you said before, you cannot have just like a closed mind and not take in any suggestions or criticism and things like that. And I think all of that is just super important to help anybody grow. I think kind
of leaning into just having to, like you said, trust the process, right? Yeah. And trust. And I feel we've really done a good job at Mantra being so genuine with our clients. Like we want them to have results. And there's a big trust bond that's happened between us and a part of our culture.
Oh yeah. And it's amazing seeing and like hearing some of our clients' stories, and they're like, this not only has this workout changed my life, but like this studio, like this community. And it just makes you feel so good knowing that like you were a part of that. And I'm like, that's just been my goal the whole time.
That's what I'm here to do.
Thank you. I'm like, thank you for allowing me to be part of this.
It's exciting too. It's really
so
exciting.
Nice.
Yeah. It's so rewarding to hear client stories, to hear how you've changed lives. And it's so impactful. When I started Mantra, I had no idea it would be so impactful. I knew it was impactful for me on my life, and it changed my physique and body and a lot of things that helped me with a lot of things in my life. But I didn't understand how big it would be and how it would really.
I don't think anybody did.
I guess we don't know, really, do we? But yeah,
you just have to trust them.
Just gotta sometimes just lean into it and trust the process. So yeah, that's been a big one.
It's been a journey. It's been a great journey.
The phases of ownership.
But look at us now. No, but I think just like trying, you want to be a leader, and we want people to be able to trust you. Mm-hmm. So I always want like the trainers, as far as leadership, I don't want them to be like, oh, like she's my boss, like in a bad way. I want to be like, Danny's going to help us. She's going to be there for me. I just want it to be like a positive. And that's what we've accomplished, especially at the Sarasota studio, developing that relationship with all of the trainers and the clients, like to trust. Trust is really big. I think it's a huge thing, and not being judgmental, because life happens. Yeah. And I always want to be able to like help the girls out if they need it, or I try to as much as possible.
Wait, there's no one to blame. It's all me.
I'm like, oh, this is my fault, actually.
You've been accountable to a group and to the team, to the staff, to the clients, and then now, just self-accountability, being out on your own, and just, you have to show up. There's no choice. And I like remind myself daily, I'm like, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. We're all going to have our days. Talk to me about communication. What have you learned about communicating from your first time on the mic, to be present in a room and not be scared or afraid to teach? And talk to me about how you communicate differently now about that journey. I think when I first started, you're just so nervous. And I mean, like, I know the new trainers understand completely, but like when you go on that mic, you can't even talk. You're so nervous. I'm like, I need water, help. Like my mouth is just dry. And then you're so worried about saying the right move, if it's a good sequence. And then you have clients. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're relying on me. And so it's terrifying at first. But I think and it takes time, but now, like going into it now, obviously you want to give them and deliver a great routine and a great class, great workout. But I want it to like be meaningful too. Like I want them to feel like you showed up for a reason. You're not here just to be like, okay, I got my workout in. Like I want you to mentally, like I tell everyone before class, I'm like, whatever negativity, anxiety, like stress you've walked in the room with, like you can leave it at the door. Like it stays there. I'm like, this is your time in your space. And I think a lot of people have a hard time doing that, but taking the time, even 45 minutes, just to clear your head and focus on you, I think that's super important to communicate, because it's really hard now in society, like schedules and life in general. It's hard to have a clear mind and headspace for just less than an hour. Yeah. And what you said about meaningful communication, because that's in developing the mantra method. It is about when you're in the studio and when you're working out, that we are not only communicating with our trainers, but we're communicating with ourselves, and we're tuning in to that part, the parts of ourself that we are with all the time and talks to itself all the time, that we're able to communicate with ourselves and to be aware. And that trainer is so important, because that's that catalyst. That's the person planting the seeds. And we've started the classes in child's pose and setting intentions at the beginning of class, giving out our weekly mantras, and helping people really focus on themselves, right? And communicating with themselves. The whole team has come together with that passion to communicate that with our I love doing clients. The child's pose. I think it's such a good way to like just
again, clear your head.
Clear
Yeah.
heads, and then just bring everybody together at
Mhm.
once in community.
Yeah.
Right?
And just
be
that
like,
quick
okay, we're
moment
here.
of silence to like focus on yourself, get yourself ready for your workout. Because I mean, all of us are like rushing in. We're like, gotta find parking, gotta rush in. Like everyone's running in, putting their grippy socks on. And I'm like, just chill. Like go in your child's pose. And even like reading the mantras of the week, I'm like, oh, I was like, this is so suiting for myself right now. And I'll like reread them weeks ahead, or even though it's like couple weeks old, the mantra, I'm like, oh, I'll like go look back and read it. And I'm like, I really like that one.
Yeah, mantras are really inspirational for our brand, that we've really moved away. We have moved away from the old style agree that we starting out as the agree studio, and really moving with this movement of mindfulness into our workout. So it's basically like you're getting a therapist when you're coming to work out. It's all at the same time, right? Because we're busy. But putting this all into one space so that we're focusing our clients and us, we're showing up, are be able to focus not only on our physical, but our mental aspect as well, and our emotional health and our spiritual health. And we can get that all in one place.
Yeah. And it's nice to like know that when you're leaving, you're like, I didn't just get a good workout. Like I'm mentally, like, I feel good. I was like, now I have stuff that I can like kind of carry with me throughout the day, throughout the week. And so it's nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm so excited. It makes me excited.
Makes me want to just get out and go work out. Okay, tell me about a client experience, or maybe a friendship that really just speaks to you.
There's been a few. I have a couple friends that have come in and they're single moms, and they're like, I just kind of want to find myself again. And I'm like, and I think it just hits home because I was in that same situation, and they're just trying to get it done every day. They're trying to be a mom and make ends meet, pay the bills, support their children, like give their kids the best life possible, but also focus on their health. And I think that's super important because, again, you get so caught up in day-to-day things in life and you forget about yourself, and you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of your kids. Because if you aren't well, how are you supposed to take care of the kids?
And any particular person that comes, we don't have to mention names, but any particular story that sticks in your mind about like a transformation story or something that.
Yes, I do. I have, like I said, a couple friends, and just going through really bad relationships and having children and dealing with separation and the stresses of that. And you need an outlet to decompress and find something that's going to mentally help you get through these things and kind of push you to be a better person. And I think that they've found that here, and it's nice. It's rewarding to know that like they're coming often. They've upgraded their memberships because they're like, I need to come more. Like I need to mentally like feel like this more often. And it's nice. It's rewarding. I love that feeling. And I love seeing them continue and become stronger mentally and physically.
It's a real thing.
I know. It really happens. It's so real. And like some people are like, oh, like you got lucky. And I'm like, no, I didn't get lucky. You have to work for what you want. And then you get this mindset, and you're like, if
you just show up, you have to show up.
And I'm like, if you don't do it, no one's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Danny, I love it. Show up.
Now.
I go back and I think about different experiences I've had in the studio, or different people that like speak to me in a certain way, or that I've been like, wow, I'm just so proud of that person, or that story resonates. And I think one of them for me is Ellie Faber. I don't know if you remember Ellie, the original studio, the OG. Yeah. And she was like in her 80s.
Oh my gosh,
crushing it. I want to be just like her one day. I want to be in my 80s and getting out her working, playing golf, and doing everything a 35-year-old could do. And watching her and seeing her transition, or kind of not transform. She was already amazing when she came, but just seeing that was so inspiring to me.
I know. And I like I remember people, they're like, I can't do this. This is hard. And I'm like, if Ellie can do it, you can do it.
Right.
I'm like, Ellie is like whooping our asses.
Yeah. There's been stories, and I know you've experienced a lot of them just being in the studio every day. Yeah. You get to hear a lot of those stories. But yeah, they're just wonderful to be a part of that.
When I came back to the studio, I went through the roster and like who our clients were. Is she still here? Is she still here? And I'm like, oh my gosh, she is. And it's just it's rewarding knowing that like, oh my gosh, Jamie Wallace and Lisa Cooper and Robin Jameson, like they've taken over 1,000 classes. Like they're in their 1,000 club.
It's
and
crazy.
I'm like, oh my gosh. And they're still going strong. And I was like, I think they have to be almost at 2,000 classes. And that's commitment. That's more commitment than marriage.
2,000 classes.
I'm kidding.
Married and divorced 2 times, and now you're on 2,000 classes. Not quite that, but
no.
Definitely divorced.
It's okay. This is a judgment-free zone.
I like that. I like being in a judgment-free
Yeah.
zone. Let's talk about the power of staying connected to your body while you're growing.
I think that comes along with like making sure you take time for yourself, like your health, wellness, everything. I feel like I did just getting so caught up in everything. I kind of took a little halt, and then just going through the stresses of life and still trying to find myself. I started incorporating mantra again. I was doing like F45. I felt like F45 just was kind of like my therapy as well, just with the weights, and kind of was like, let me just let out some aggression without getting in trouble. But I think like doing all of that and getting my body back to a place where I was like, I feel good on the inside, it's like things that I know are going to be good for my body, not just like, oh, I heard this is good and someone sold me on it because they're promoting it, but doing some research and trial and error and what works for my body, because everyone is so different.
I feel like it's like you said, everybody is so different, and
Yeah.
what speaks to somebody is like the best workout might not speak to the next person in that way. It's kind of like finding your niche and finding your groove and what works for you so that you do show up.
Yeah. And I think that is also a hard thing, because people with such busy, hectic lives, they want to be told what to do, which is also great for group fitness because we tell you what to do. But I think also people want to be told like, take this and you'll instantly be shredded, or like you'll instantly lose weight, or you have to do this workout. Like you
can take a supplement and you can instantly lose weight, but that's really just the surface, right?
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like, it
working
might
deeper.
not even work. It's just it could be like a scheme.
Yeah.
But I was like, I think it's trial and error, because everyone is going to feel different in these workouts with their body. I'm trying to get back into yoga because at one point I was not a big fan of it, but now I'm like, I need to calm down. So
important. Yeah.
I need to calm down.
I need to breathe. And as we keep developing the method, incorporating more breath awareness into the workout, focusing on what our breath is doing and how we can stay grounded and present in our breath, and reminding clients when they're in these, how important that is to get breath in. And I love that it's time for me, that I can go in, right, and be in my world and nothing else matters. I want that too for our method to keep evolving that way.
Yeah.
We can
and
incorporate
I think
the breath.
on the right track.
Yeah, we're on the right track for sure. I feel we've been really strong in our community supporting other women. And what advice would you give to somebody, female or a client or best friend, who wanted to start a new venture, but maybe they're afraid to do it?
I've given advice, and I'm like, just do it. I'm like, if you think it's hard, try. And I was like, you're going to think about this over and over. Just do it. Don't regret it. I mean, what are you going to, again, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You tried. But usually you can try again.
But usually it works out.
And it does.
It works out.
It really does. Like, I would have never in a million years thought I'd have my own business. I would have never thought this would be like how the cards played out. And I'm like, I'm so grateful for it. 100%. And I'm like, people need to try. Like, they need to trust themselves a little bit more.
Yeah. Just follow that little nudge. Sometimes it's in here that just is like, hey, maybe whatever it is for you, it was, becoming, your artistic talents, that you've now transferred into doing designs on bodies, which is huge. I mean, you can't take that back.
No, you can't.
I'm like, that's really,
It's commitment.
yeah, it's a huge commitment. So yeah, like,
But yeah, my advice would just be like, go for it. Like if you have a thought that you think like, oh, I think I want to try this, or I think I want to start up this, like do it. Look into what you need to do and do it.
let's see. Closing out, I just want to give a shout out to you and what you've accomplished and
Thank you.
everything that you do to keep your life moving in the way that you've done, and buying your new house now. It's been neat to see that.
I know, it's so exciting.
Yeah, like coming.
I'm like, wow, I'm a homeowner now.
Yeah,
I'm an adult.
Lots to be proud of.
Thank you.
So shout out to Danny. If you want to check her out, I can attest she does an amazing job. She did my very first tattoo. Maybe my only, but maybe not. She claims it might not, but I did the Mel Robbins Let Them tattoo on my wrist, and it's been great. Yeah, it's a step outside the box for me, but I'm embracing it, and
yeah,
I said yes.
I was like, you wild woman.
So wild. So anyway, I'll drop her information. Check her out if you're feeling inspired. If you're feeling inspired to be creative in a new way, or something speaks to you, reach out to Danny. She's got it down, and we're pleased and excited to have her at Mantra. Thanks, Danny.